Hello friends. Now let us take up the concept number 3, 6.3, creation of one-dimensional array. Actually, Java supports creation of one-dimensional as well as multi-dimensional arrays. First, let us focus on creation of one-dimensional array. Before learning about this process, you must learn about the creation of C array. C array and Java array are totally different. The basic reason is C array is totally primitive type. Java array is a reference type. In order to understand the difference between the primitive type and reference type, you must know the creation of a C array also. Just very simple. C array. We define int mark list. This is C array's declaration. As a result of that, an array is created. Here we have to mention the number of elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is created on stack memory, and name is attached to this mark list, and its type is int array. That you have to understand. For primitive variables, we are mentioning as int or float. Here, what you have to mention, int array. This is created on stack. The name is associated with this location. This is the C model. Once you understand the C model, you can find the difference between C array and Java array, or difference between primitive type array and reference type array. Okay. Now, let us come to this concept, creation of Java array. Java array is a reference type. Now, we can divide this creation process into three stages. The first one is declaration, second one is construction, third one is initialization. You must remember one thing. We don't write three statements differently. We write only one statement, but in order to understand that, you have to dissect it into three parts. The first one is declaration. Declaration means nothing but declaration of uh, array reference variable. Array reference variable. And now you see that float price list. This is array declaration reference variable declaration. Here you should not give size. It's just a reference variable for the array we are going to create. So this is a price list. Actually, Java allows to place this square bracket either here or here. But placing this here is the right way. It rightly represents. Price list is nothing but identifier of the reference variable. What is its type? Float array. You can mention like that. Now you see team. In team, who are there? In persons are there. Their names are there. So team. What is the type? What is the type of team? String array. That's why always you place here. And by mistake or by ignorance, if you place it here also, no, Java does not report any error. Java supports both, and this is a right way of doing things. Always you remember that it is nothing but a declaration of array reference variable, and its type is float array, its type is string array. That point always you remember. And this is a just declaration of reference variable. That's why no space is allocated for the array. That point you must remember. If you give spaces, if you give sizes, it leads to error. Okay, that point you understand. The second one is construction of array. Construction of array. In case of reference variables, where object is created at runtime on the heap memory. Heap memory or free store memory. Heap memory is also known as free store memory. That point you have to understand. So, if we have to create any space for any element or any object on heap, you have to use new operator. New operator. Now, now previous example only I am continuing that float 10. In the price list, in the previous example, we want to store price of 10 items. So float 10. You should not use the identifier here. New float 10 means the space required for 10 floats, the memory is allocated on heap. What is the job of new? Job of the new. new uh, new performs three jobs. One is it gets memory allocated on the heap. How much memory? 10 into float. Suppose float size is 4. 10 into 4. 40 bytes memory is allocated in a contiguous memory on heap. Okay. Then object is created. Now we see that for the sake of simplicity, I make 5. Now you see, this is the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, what is there? This is created on heap. On heap, we cannot give any name. We cannot give any name. But what is type means? What you can tell? Float array. That only you can tell. Now, what is there? Time being. Time being the default value of float type. What is the default value of the float type? 0, 0.0, 0, 0.0, 0, 0.0, 0, 0.0, 0, 0.0 are stored. That is the job of new. New gets gets 5 into 4, 20 bytes allocated as a single block. Number one. Number two, all the elements it gets initialized by the default value of the float. Default value of the float type is 0, 0.0 that is being filled. Here, two jobs a new operator performed. This is the creation of an array that you have to understand. And now let us go to the third step, that is initialization. Initialization. Initialization means now reference declaration we made, array declaration we made. We have to link up the both. Now you see that float. Now price list. Now a new float 5. Now form a picture. How it is on heap. On heap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This array is declared, but no name is there. It is created on heap. Its type is float array. Okay. Now other reference variable we created. Reference variable this. It is having a name. What is that? Price list. It is having a type, that is float array, but two different elements. And because of this assignment operator, this is being done. This its reference, object's reference means you can understand as a pointer or address, but don't use those words. Java does not allow two words. One is pointer or address. You call as a reference, and its reference will be assigned to this. Its reference, this object's reference, will be assigned to the reference variable. That is also job of the new operator. That you have to understand. Now this is created. You can take it as this is like a kite. This is like a string. This knowledge is very, very essential. Essential. And here, as I told you already, it is filled with the default values, initialized with the default values of float, that is 0, 0.0. So, new performed three jobs. First job is it gets the required memory allocated on a heap. Second one, it gets all the elements are initialized with the default value of the float. Third one, it assigns the reference of the object to the corresponding reference variable because of that is created. That's why you must understand that one dimensional array creation involves three steps. The first one, declaring reference variable. Second one is constructing array. Third one is initializing array.